I've seen this so many times in my life. So what do I do as a strategy, as a thinking person? I said, okay, I will put my entire effort in my achieving a goal. I will also have some expectations without which it is impossible. But when actual results come, I should have the mental bandwidth to accept these results in 4 formats, because I observed them in 4 formats. Results come in 4 dimensions. And an example I can give you is you go to catch a bus. The bus comes on time. The expectation that you had and the results match like this. And then second format is you go to catch a bus. The bus leaves just before you go there. You went there on time, but the bus came a little early. So your expectation was here, the results was down here. So less than expected. And you will feel frustrated, you stamp your feet. How can it happen? But it has happened. Accept that reality. The third format is you came to catch a bus. The bus came earlier and it left you, but your friend was driving in a car and he reached your office before, gave you a ride, and you reached your office before the bus could go. So the results was more than expected. And there could be a phenomena where there is no correlation between your effort and what you got. You went to catch the bus and you run down by Yamaha motorbike and you landed up in the land of Yamaha, right? And you don't know whether you're in heaven or hell because totally unexpected happened. So your results will be equal to expectation, less than expectation, more than expectation, totally unexpected. So do you have the mental bandwidth to accept results in these 4 formats? That is the trick of managing failure. And Gita's language for it is Sthita Pragya. Sthita Pragya means you're established in the wisdom of reality. What is reality? That effort is when you're controlled to an extent, but the results are entirely out of control and they can come in 4 formats. Be prepared for accepting results in all the 4 conduits, 4 channels. That's it.
Wonderful. And also, I think the other part is that suppose you go there waiting for the bus and actually the bus doesn't turn up.
Yeah, that's what I call totally unexpected. Yeah. So it's an unexpected reality. See, how many times do you get unexpected turns of events in your life? You're just walking in a park and you fall down and you had 5 stitches on your head. I mean, you did not expect to fall down. Yeah. And even if you expect to fall down, it would have been a minor fall, but 5 stitches and hospital. Totally unexpected, man. But you have to have the mental equilibrium to be able to accept that. That's a reality. You can't say, no, it can't happen to me. I mean, it has already happened. It is stupid to fret about it.
Interestingly, I fell this year and I broke my wrist. So, so I think, I mean, I couldn't imagine that this could happen to me and why should it happen to me? But I think these things happen. The other part I wanted to also ask you about is that sometimes we want things faster. Right? We want things faster and we want things in more magnitude. For example, let's say I have a small house, which is 1 bedroom. I want to quickly move to a 2-bedroom house. Or if I have, if I'm wanting something in my life, I want that it should come quickly tomorrow. So this whole, and also this is part of expectation, but this also, makes failure even more painful. And makes us feel very frustrated. I mean, that's how I used to feel, that why am I not getting it now? And why am I not getting things more than, or more than what I deserve, or even for that matter, what I deserve? Because, always we think we deserve much more than what we really get. So what are your thoughts around that? And how does one deal with this?
You see, the urge for more is not the problem. Only a human being can desire for more. A buffalo will not. A buffalo is content to, we call people who mate indiscriminately with the opposite sex, we call them bitches, right? But if you look at bitches, they have a season. They do not mate indiscriminately. It's an insult to bitches and dogs. It's only the human being that has the privilege of desiring more than what even his physical capacity or her physical capacity is given. So the ability to desire for more, urge to desire more, is inborn. But you have to investigate from where is this coming. The problem is not the desire. Problem is the source of desire. And the moment you recognize the source of desire is not the object that you're pursuing. It is in the subject that desires. As I have told you that we have a sense of incompletion. Even after we achieve everything, you ask a billionaire, he must be complete as far as money is concerned. He said, no, man, looking at the next billion or the trillion, right? And so fundamentally, the misreading is not the desire component of desire, not the object of desire. The misreading happens that we are a finite person inside that's the misreading. We think we are finite and desire of this kind will fulfill me, but we are infinite within. We don't see. It's like an hourglass. The infinity in us will have to be fulfilled only with infinite. The longing that comes from us comes from the space of the infinite person, human being. And the finites cannot satisfy the infinite person. It is impossible. So if you are seeking your resolution of your sense of incompleteness in your trophies, your achievements, it will never happen because you will still have a residual desire left, because the hunger of the infinite, the ocean, infinite ocean that you are, is insatiable. And that hunger can only be met when you realize that you're actually the ocean, in which case you don't have anything. Because if you are everything, then what else do you want? And I can see there are people who are mature enough, and I've seen such people in my life. Bank of America's CEO said, in my bank, I'll have not a single dollar more than $1 million. So he had many millions in his life. But every time his bank balance went beyond 1 million, he would give away that money.
Wow.
You see, back home, we have examples of Narayan Murthy. He said, my budget, monthly budget for my eatables and sabji and all of that is no more than $5,000. You ask Sudha Murthy, she has a closet, and when she brought up her children, she said, when you buy a new shirt, you have to displace an old shirt from it. And so the point is that when you create a structure through which you pan out your desire, you say, okay, my material requirements are infinite, but my body, mind cannot supply me the infinite from outside. So I have to search inward for a sense of that infinitude that I am. Only there, the resolution of the hunger for more will happen. So what is more? More is not more objects. More is more realization. But unfortunately, you have transferred the urge for realization of the self to acquiring more. So what is a problem of accommodation has become a problem of accumulation. And these are two wrong things. Mullah Nasruddin was asked a question. He lost the key to his house and he was asked, Mullah, what are you doing here? He was drunk. And he says, I'm looking for the key to my house on the street. And he says, why on the street? Where did you lose it? In front of my house, which is 1 mile away. But why are you looking for that key in the street? It's because there is light here. So the point is that we are looking for, because I think the visible world will make me, that where there is light outside will fulfill my need, but it will never, as we have discovered. So you have to create a structure through which you define the limits of what you might want from the world. And beyond that, you say, my search will cease to be on the outside. It will be on the inside. I wrote my first novel after many nonfiction books. So you said you could have written 5 more nonfiction, you could have made them bestsellers, made a lot more money. I said, that was never my urge. My urge was to fulfill myself.